It's time to sip that coffee, get your mind right, and vibe with the queen herself. We're dishing out hot topics, wellness tips of the day, and things that make you go, Let's get this palace party started.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Today we are talking about an issue that has set the internet on fire. Ashlee Janae was found dead in Africa for a trip that she went to celebrate her birthday. She was unfortunately 31 years young. 2 days prior on the trip, her fiance, Joe McCain, had proposed to her. Her family stated, listen, we got a call from Ashlee that she was in a heated argument with her fiance. They were separated. And the next thing you know, we're getting a call from the resort that our child is dead. We need answers. And we do not believe that she is capable of taking her own life. We're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it. And let me just say this. For me, this is a very personal topic just because of the mental health aspect that could be tied. Let me just say this from the angle that they're coming from, because when we talk about suicide, that would lead you to assume and or believe that in order for this to happen to Ashlee, that she was in a state of mind that she no longer wanted to be on this earth, right? And if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. We gonna get into it. This is what I do over here. We break shit down over here. We gonna break it down all the way to the ground. And I thank you all for being so patient, because what I was doing is I got caught up in the research of it all. Oh, I went down a rabbit hole because I need to know who all the players are. And in order to understand it and host a well-rounded conversation, you got to know the facts, and not just what happened in Africa, but also who are the people, what is their background, what is the age, how do you engage with women and men, how in the hell did we get here? And I'm gonna say something, Joe. Well, let me back up. Nobody knows what happened in that room. Nobody knows what happened. Let's do this. Let's get the facts. Nobody knows what happened except Ashlee and Joe. Ashlee is not here to tell her story. The authorities doesn't know. Okay? That girl Bree said, what time is Queen coming on? I think I'm here. I think I'm here. Can you hear me now? Loud and clear. By the way, Bree, that sure is a beautiful profile picture, girl. You looking good. That is a beautiful photo. But I'm here. Okay. So nobody knows what happened with the exception of Joe and Ashlee. I don't care what the authorities say. Even they don't know because they're having to rely on Joe's testimony or Joe's account, Joe's details, Joe's report. So they can only go by what he says, and then they take their level of expertise, they go in, they try to put two and two together. Okay. But only Joe knows. Only Ashlee knows. Ashlee's not here. Now, I did a little bit of background on Joe. Joe, you have a fetish for Black women. That's not against the law. But you have a thing for chocolate women. And based on your history, you don't stay around too long. Joe's been married before. That's not against the law. That's not against the law. But I just wanted to lay it out. Joe is a very wealthy man. Some other details that Ashlee and Joe were not dating long. I'm thinking a year. 1 year is not a lot of time to get to know anybody. Ask married folks. Ask folks that's been in a relationship. They haven't even begun to scratch the surface, and this girl's found dead in Africa. So about a year, okay? And he proposed to her on the trip for her birthday. Now, here's the thing that you got to think of. Money talks, bullshit walks. What state of mind was Ashlee in when she got on that flight and went to that trip to Africa? Some of you say there's no way she took her life. I don't know. I put a poll out. I put a live poll and I ask you, do you feel like or do you believe? Let's take a look at the poll. Where's the poll? I thought I put a poll. Did I start a poll or no? Do you believe? A fetish? I'm gonna say a type. That's a good question. Aquarius vibe. You say a fetish or a type? Let's just say a type. Let's just say a type, and we'll leave it there. Preference. We'll say preference. That's a better word. Thank you. Thank you for calling my attention to that. So Ashlee and Joe, give or take, may have been dating a year before he proposed to her. He proposed on the trip. What state of mind would she had to have been in? So you got to think of most young women, 30 years old, going to Africa, rich boyfriend, having access to the best of the best of the best, from the flight to the resort, first class service. I'm going to assume she was excited. I'm going to assume she was looking forward to celebrating her birthday, right? Then you have to ask yourself, what the hell happened that if he proposed to you 2 days before the fight, watch this, what could they have been fighting about? What would cause a woman to get so upset that she would have to be separated from her knight in shining armor in a foreign country, in particular Africa? What happened that was so bad that the security personnel had to come to this high-scale resort, intervene, and place both individuals in separate rooms? Boom. Boom. If we begin, and we're only assuming because we weren't there, process of elimination, what would get a woman so upset? It could be cheating. And I'm thinking from the viewpoint of a woman, but feel free to share. Cheating, betrayal, or just alcohol. It's your birthday. You just got proposed to. What could be? What could overwhelm that? What could take the attention and the focus off of that you have to be separated and the fight was so bad that everybody in the hotel knows about the fight? Either alcohol, cheating. I can't think of anything else. Now, if the security personnel separated them and placed them in 2 separate rooms, I'm going to assume Ashlee was placed in a different room because Joe has the money. This leads me to think, why were you in Ashlee's room? How did you get a key to go to Ashlee's room? What's the point of separating the two if he still has access to her and if he can still come in her room? That's why I'm assuming that Ashlee was pulled out of the main room. I could be wrong, placed in a supplemental room, but because it's on his card, he can request a key. This is all circumstantial. This is all assumption. We are brainstorming this thing together. Because how would you gain access to her room if you're supposed to be separated? How would you know that she's been dead for 11 hours if you were not in her room? How would you even know that she committed suicide if you were not in her room? How do you know that somebody else didn't come in there and do it? No. Listen to me. Listen to me. Oh, that's a good one. You said he could have rescinded the proposal. That's a third option. Think about what I'm saying. They're separated because of a fight. Ashley's probably placed in a different room to cool down. If Joe is supposed to remain in his room and Ashley's supposed to remain in her room, there is no way Joe would know that she took her own life. You can't know that. All you know is I found her like this. And if you're the first on the scene, that would mean that somebody gave you a key. Why did you need a key to her room? Listen, just follow me. Don't get ahead. Don't get ahead. So somebody's not being forthcoming about all of the information. Either it's the hotel, it's Joe, or a combination of both. Even if Joe did absolutely nothing to Ashley, my first question as the FBI and as her parents is, if you say that they were out of control and the argument was so heated, then why in the hell did you give him a key to her room? That tells me there's a little bit of influence. There's a little bit of privilege, right? So now we got to use the white card here because you're in an African country. You're having a fight with a Black female that so much so that they're like, oh my God, the best thing to do is to separate them. Then why would you turn around and give this white man a key to her room if you're concerned for her safety? And the only thing that would make logical sense is because he's the guy with the money. He's the guy with the money. He's the guy with the power. Okay, let's just say. Because, yeah, you had to have given him a key to her room. So if we go with the theory of the internet, people are saying there's no, well, not even the theory. Her family's saying there's no way Ashley would take her own life. So we're going to lean into that. The family, the friends, loved ones are advocating. They say, if you know Ashley, there is no way. So let's go with that. There is no way she would take her own life. She was so distraught, she had to be placed in a separate room. Okay. You hand off a key to the guy that you separated her from. I'm going to say, as a woman, then you put her in danger, the hotel. So you have a responsibility here. You have a little bit of liability here, right? Whether she took her own life or not, you gave him a key because otherwise he would need to come down, ask for a key. Then you would say, no, sir, right now we don't want to give you a key. You gave him a key. I'm not sure how long he had the key, but therefore he gets to drive the narrative and say, I came in and she was hanging by the closet with clothes. She took her own life. How in the hell would you know that if you weren't in that room? There is no way for you to know that, to take that assumption. You would say she's hanging. What the hell happened to my fiance? And then it would be up to the investigators to conduct a thorough investigation. You don't get to tell them what happened if you don't know, unless you know. Now that leads us to the question, is there a possibility that this man could have taken Ashley's life? Is this what you say? Do you think it's a setup? A setup to what? What would be the setup? He has her in Africa. He's proposing. And I'm not disagreeing, but you got to give me more. Right? Think about it. He's flying, he's whisking her across the world to celebrate her birthday. It's being documented by her on her Instagram page. She's posting, she's celebrating, she's having the time of her life. What would be the setup? What would be the setup? Yes. So let's do this. We're going to break it down. I think he entered the room. I think he entered the room because he could. Where does foul play come into the picture if we go with the family's notion? Now, the family isn't accusing him of anything. They're saying, you need to come forward. You need to come clean. We don't believe what you're saying. We don't know what happened, but we damn sure don't believe that Ashley took her own life. No, sir. That doesn't fly here. That's what the family's saying. Ashlee also has a friend that's her PR rep that's saying, we need, no, absolutely not. I'm telling you, I love this girl. I know this girl. She would never take her own life. So now I'm racking my brain and I'm saying, okay, they had a fight. People can present one way and be a completely different person behind the scenes. I'm going to assume, based on a police report from the Tanzania authorities, that Ashlee was probably more emotional, more vocal, and not because she was in the wrong, but because she's simply probably a woman experiencing some complexities in this relationship, just based on the write up. He probably was able to gather himself. Yes, sir. No, sir. Mm-hmm. 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 They separate. He enters the room. How soon after they separate did he enter the room? We don't know. You go in the room to do what? Because let's take a look at something. Let's take a look at something. And then we'll start from here. I want to start with the news story. We'll start there. We'll listen to the parents and then we'll work our way into this story. Let me just say this. It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't mean that it's not true. It doesn't mean that he did something. But I got to go with those who knew her most. He didn't know her most. He only knew her for a year. Her mom knew her, her family, her friends. So you got to go with the ones that have more history. It just doesn't make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, I'm going to say this. It's probably because it's not true. I want to take a look at a news clip. Here we go.
Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne is live in the Satellite Center with the latest. Cheyenne.
Hi, Sarah and Brian. Yeah, Ashlee Robinson, she was actually raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware, who say they aren't getting any answers about what happened to her from officials in Tanzania or her fiance.
My daughter, Ashlee, she's no longer here with us, and we're trying to find out why.
On April 5th, influencer Ashlee Robinson, who goes by Ashlee Janae on Instagram, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
She was starting the next chapter of her life. She called us and FaceTimed us to share with us her travel.
Ashlee's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashlee called saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury resort the couple was staying at called saying that Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, according to her husband, he found she hung herself on the door with several question marks.
They didn't believe it. Let's go with the initial reaction. Let's go with the initial reaction of law enforcement who was dispatched to the hotel. They used, as a matter of fact, I'm going to say about 6 or 7 question marks. They didn't believe it. It didn't line up. The story is sketchy. We're going to go with the initial reaction, not the paid reaction, not the paid record. If that, okay. So now they're saying she died by suicide. But before they were brought on board to say that, they questioned his details, his account of what went down. Now, ample. They put They put 4 hours ago. According to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door. See, here's my thing. You wouldn't know how the hell she got on the door. Why, as a husband? See, you wouldn't. This tells me Ashlee probably was a very healthy young lady, mind, body, and spirit, because there's no way a millionaire like yourself, it's being reported that he's allegedly has a $45 million net worth. There's no way that a millionaire like yourself would want to marry or propose to a woman who had mental health issues, considering who your ex-wife is. So when he reaches for the stars. He's had relationships with very successful Black women. So this is a man who is attracted to brains, to beauty, to smarts, to women that can lead, women that are high earners, women that can present, and women that fit in a particular echelon of society in these different circles. So I'm going to assume that Ashlee was a very healthy and well-rounded young lady mentally. We can stop there. Beautiful, of course, aesthetically, yes. But let's get into the mental health of it all. I'm going to assume that Ashlee did not present over the course of the year that they dated that she was capable of taking her own life. There's no way. You wouldn't have asked her to marry you, right? So then when you look at this report, according to the husband, he found she hanged herself on the door. How would you know she did that if she's always been healthy, of sound mind around you? How would you know? If it's true, how would you know she did that? How do you know somebody didn't come in the room and do it? What would automatically make you say, this girl, the love of my life, took her own life? How do you know that for a fact? Let's continue. They said she had a bilateral chest expansion, no any lesions. There is a tattoo on the left side of the chest, trachea centrally located. CVS pulse is strong and fat. Oh, she wasn't dead when they found her immediately. Sounds like her pulse. She had a strong, fast pulse. She later died in the hospital. Let's continue.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashlee was also taken.
Okay, he went back to her room with security. Why would you? See, I have a lot of questions. If y'all are just separated and she's supposed to be sleeping, why do you need to go get security to go back to her room? What gave you cause for concern? We're just being open. Those are questions I hope that law enforcement asked. What made you prompt security to go back in her room? What happened? Did she say anything? Did she text anything? Why did you need to take security to her room?
Taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation.
Strangulation and suffocation. Now, you were in her room first, sir. We know this for a fact. You were in the room first, and sometime after leaving the room, you went and got security. Let's continue.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
And the family says next they are considering going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get as many answers as possible. Now, we also tried to directly contact Ashlee's fiance, the resort, and the embassy, but we did not hear back. I'm live in the Satellite Center. Cheyenne Corinne, Channel 6, Action News. Back to you.
This is, the mom said, there's no way. My child has never, ever done anything in her entire life, and I believe the mother, that would lead me to believe that she is capable of taking her own life. that she is capable of taking her own life. I want to go back to something real quick.
Yeah, heartbreaking for the family and unfolding halfway around the world. Thank you, Cheyenne.
Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne is live in the Satellite Center with the latest.
Now, keep in mind, she died in a Muslim practicing country. What does that mean? Women are respected as long as they behave publicly. Women are respected as long as they behave publicly. And we talk about bro code. I'm not saying the man did anything. I don't know that. But let's just talk about the bro code all over the world. The men are the hierarchy in Muslim countries. So if there's anything that indicates foul play, and you have a millionaire that can hand over money to make this go away until I can get on the first thing smoking, then hey, you just never know. It is Muslim. I looked it up. It's okay. They're saying that it's Muslim. It's a Muslim culture. Well, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. That they practice Muslim over there. Can anybody? I tried to do my research, but you said they're not practicing Muslims over there. You do know many Africans are Muslim, right? So no, you don't have any Muslims over there, Janet? You said you're in Tanzania. Okay. Well, it describes it as a Muslim culture. I could be wrong though, but I'm glad we have you. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, Islam. Okay. Thank you. See, thank you for keeping me honest. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's do this. I want to break something down real quick. I'm going to let it play, but I need to go back to this police report.
Cheyenne.
Hi, Sarah and Brian. Yeah, Ashlee Robinson, she was actually raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware, who say they aren't getting any answers about what happened to her from officials in Tanzania or her fiance.
So here's the thing. I found it odd that they listed him as her husband, and he's not her husband. Oh, let me show it to you.
My daughter, Ashlee, she's no longer here with us, and we're trying to find out why.
On April 5th, influencer Ashlee Robinson, who goes by Ashlee Janae on Instagram, was celebrating her 31st birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania. She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2.
I could be reaching. Ashlee didn't look very excited in this photo. And it could just, in this video clip of him proposing. And it, like I said, it just could be wrong. It's 63% Christian. Okay, well, they got another 40-something percent, 30-something percent, right? Thank you. Islam is the second. So y'all are saying they don't practice, but I said Muslim, but I meant Islam. But they still have that dynamic there. Now watch this. In this video, this is something I noticed, very small. Nothing to write home about. But she didn't jump for joy. None of that when he proposed in this video. Did anybody else catch that? He kneeled. She kind of slightly took a bow. That's it. There was no huge reaction. And that stood out to me.
2 days before,
She was starting the next chapter of her life. She called us and FaceTimed us to share with us her travel.
Ashlee's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week.
Now, the mom said she called us and she FaceTimed to share her travel. The mom didn't say engagement. Did anybody else catch that? She called us and FaceTimed to share her travels. She didn't say anything about an engagement. She didn't say anything regarding, my daughter was so excited. She told us that Joe had just proposed to her. It's her. She said travel. Ashlee called 2 times, according to the mom. We just heard her about the travel, and then she called about the fight. The mom never said anything about a freaking engagement. Let's continue.
week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashlee called saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms.
That's the second time she called. April 5th, about the travels. April 8th, hey, mom, we're fighting. 2 calls. Mom, what did she say the fight was about? That's going to be very important. We don't know, but it is what it is, says. So the mom knows what the fight is about. We don't know. We don't know. It just depends. I'm sure there's a time, what do y'all call it? There's a difference of time zones. The mom it could have been early in the morning, could have been late at night for the mom. It depends on the type of questions the mom asked or did not ask when her daughter called saying we got into a fight. Now, for a 31-year-old woman to call her mom, I'm going to assume it was pretty serious. And not only that, they had a very good relationship because she called someone she could trust. Now, the mom gave no additional details in this interview with the news regarding the state of mind that Ashlee was in when she received that call, that, hey, we're being separated. But I'm sure that if Ashlee called her mom, it's probably because this is the first time something like this has happened. She needed a safe place. She needed a sounding board. She's in a foreign country. I got to call my mom. I got to call my mom.
The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury resort the couple was staying at called saying that Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark around her neck.
Unidentified mark around her neck. Unidentified. I need to, okay. All right.
They wrote, according to her husband, he found she hung herself on the door.
He found. So he was in that room. We've established that he was in that room first. We don't know how long. And then he went to get security. How long were you in the room? And I noticed that they listed him as her husband. He's not her husband. He's a boyfriend, fiance. So once you've established legally that she's not married to him, my question to Tanzania or Zanzibar authorities, how come you're not giving the family information? She's not connected to him legally. There is no contractual binding agreement. Now you know. The family's calling you, asking for details, but you refuse to give them any details on their daughter, on their loved one. Did you accept money from this man, Zanzibar? Did anybody within the organization accept money from this man? Aquarius said it's because he's white. Africans look at white men like a god. So, because why would you refuse to give the mother any details? He has no legal right to her now that she's deceased.
With several question marks.
Sometime Jill went back to the room with security, and that's how they found her.
Ashlee was also taken to a second hospital who listed her cause of death as cerebral hypoxia by strangulation and suffocation.
She's never done anything that would ever lead me to believe that she would do something to harm herself.
And the family says next they are considering going to Zanzibar themselves to try to get as many answers as possible. Now, we also try.
You have to. You got to go over there and show your black face. You got to go over there and let people see and feel you as a mother. You got to do whatever you got to do to get to the bottom of what happened to your daughter. You don't just get on the phone and take somebody's word for it. I don't give a damn if you have to create a GoFundMe. You need to be on the first thing smoking. You cannot afford to take anybody's word for anything that they've said has happened to your daughter. You can get more done in person than you can over a Zoom meeting. And I'm not trying to be funny. People got to feel you. They got to see you. They have to connect with you in order to get down to the truth. Now, here's a part of the police report. Police in the North region of Zanzibar have reported that social media personality Ashlee Robinson, popularly known as Ashlee Janae, a U.S. citizen, died in the hospital after being rushed there. You guys, she was still alive in that room. In the report, they said her pulse was strong. She was found in her hotel room by a hotel staff member in a hanging position. Now, remember, he went and got them. In an interview, North Unguja Regional Police Commander Benedict Mapujila said that Ashlee was found hanging in her room on April 8, 2026. She was rescued while in critical condition and taken to a hospital where she passed away on April 9, 2026 while receiving treatment. Damn. So you mean to tell me they walked in the nick of time, or he walked in right as she hung herself, ran down to get hotel staff? Listen, it's a lie. I'm calling bullshit right now. Listen to me. It just hit me. This is a lie, a lie, a lie, a lie. He walked in the room first, the love of his life. He sees her hanging. He don't stop her. He runs down to get hotel security, and they all come back. That's a lie. It just hit me. It's a lie. I don't believe it. If my husband were to see me, he would do everything. He would tear down the walls of Jericho to get me down from there. There's no way he would leave me up there, whether it's by my own doing, and run and get another man to take me down. It is a lie from the pits of hell. I'm glad I read it. I don't believe it. It doesn't sound right. The heart of a man is to protect, especially if he did not inflict the harm. He would do anything to tear her down from that fucking closet door. Are you following me? It just hit me in real time. This is a lie. You are lying. No, it is not a normal reaction. Do you see how mothers reach for children when they fall? It's like cold blue. I'm talking about a natural reaction, not a strategic, not a manipulative. If a man who just proposed to a woman 2 days ago walk into a room and see her dangling from a door, he's going to fucking tear down the walls of Jericho. It's instinctive. We're talking instinct. Ask any man. Ask. Hell, a woman would, a friend would. No, he's not going to. I'm talking instinct, not a plot. Instinct. Screaming, hollering. Lose, thank you. Know the heart of a mic check. Am I good? No, understand the heart of a man. Ask any man. Let's continue. So in an interview, North Unguja Regional Police Commander Benedict Mapujila said Ashlee was found hanging in her room on April 8th. She was rescued while in critical condition and taken to the hospital where she passed away. This man stood back and let them fight to take her down. Didn't help. He let them do it. That signifies detachment to me of some sort. I'm not even said he did anything. That signifies detachment to me from a psychological standpoint. I'm going in and out. Okay, sound is good. Okay, sounds good. Now let's go to the second part of the police report. Here we go. Commander Mapujila stated that Ashlee's body is still at the hospital and investigators are ongoing to determine the cause of her death. They didn't know. They didn't initially take his word, which is why we saw the 6 to 7 question marks. Initial reports indicate that a hotel worker discovered her while cleaning, raised an alarm, and she was then taken to the hospital. Well, that's not what it says in the news report. So now we have conflicting reports. We're saying that he found her. At first, they're saying that a hotel worker found her. Initial reports indicate that a hotel worker discovered her while cleaning, raised an alarm, and she was taken to the hospital. It's about 2 days now. In Nangiwi, she was found hanging by a hotel staff member who raised the alarm, and she was rushed to the hospital. The body is still in Zanzibar. And if not yesterday, then today it will have undergone examination, said the North Police commander. Let's get to the third report. So now we have conflicting reports. And that can happen, right? Being that you have the US media outlets that are covering this, and then you have information that's coming from Zanzibar. So the commander also said that Ashlee's fiance, Joe McCann, who was traveling with her, has not been arrested because he was not in the room at the time she was found. However, investigations are still going. According to social media reports, Ashlee had recently gotten engaged to Joe McCann during one of their tourist trips in Tanzania. But this news report, let's go back, said that he went to get hotel staff. Somebody's lying.
Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne is live in the Satellite Center with the latest. Cheyenne.
Hi, Sarah and Brian. Yeah, Ashlee Robinson, she was actually raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware, who say they aren't getting any answers about what happened to her from officials in Tanzania or her fiance.
My daughter, Ashlee, she's no longer here with us.
Yeah, something's off. When people are getting paid, the story changes.
First birthday in Zanzibar, Tanzania.
This is him proposing. Not a big reaction, in my opinion.
She was on the vacation with her boyfriend of 1 year, who popped the question just 2 days before.
Did you see her body leaned out? I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Could there have been tension prior to the trip, at the onset of the trip, on the aircraft? She's given him kiss, but it's more performative, or niceties is what I'm trying to say. Niceties. A part of the body was leaned back. The lower part of the body, initially she went in for the kiss, but she wasn't all the way committed if we look at the body language in this particular shot.
Starting the next
And neither was he.
chapter of her life. She called us and FaceTimed us to share with us her travel.
Ashlee's mother says she never would have expected that less than a week later, her daughter would be dead. On April 8th, she says Ashlee called saying she and her fiance got into an argument and were moved to separate rooms. The next day, she received another call, this time from her fiance.
He told me that Ashlee did something to herself and that she was being taken to the hospital. I said, what happened when? And he told me it had been 11 hours prior.
Hours later, the luxury resort the couple was staying at called saying that Ashlee passed away. According to the hospital's medical report, Ashlee had an unidentified mark around her neck. They wrote, according to her husband, he found she hung herself on the door.
Somebody's lying. The medical report says, according to the husband, he found her. He found her hanging from the door. Somebody's not being honest. But according to the police report, here we go. The commander said that Ashlee's fiance, who was traveling with her, has not been arrested because he was not in the room at the time she was found. Yes, he was, according to the medical report. The medical report said he's the one that found her. So why is your investigative report different from the medical examiner? Y'all get it? Somebody's lying. No. See, it's bigger than him, but it is what it is. Say him lying. No, they're lying. They're lying. So now take him out the equation. Let me show you something. You have two different organizations, two entities in Zanzibar. The police are saying he wasn't there in the room. The medical report said, oh, hell, yes, the hell he was. He was the one that found her. Question mark, question mark, question mark. He said that she was hanging from a door. The African authorities are not being honest. Their reports don't include the same details. Somebody's lying. The commander in chief of the police department says Ashlee was found. No, they didn't say she was found. Listen to this. Initial reports indicate that a hotel worker discovered her while cleaning, raised an alarm, and she was then taken to the hospital. Y'all got to get your story straight. It's not lining up. I knew I was going to break this down and get to the bottom of it. We just had to comb through it. Somebody's lying. And even if you freaking take him out the equation, one of the African entities is lying. You're not being forthcoming. You're not both saying the same thing. This happened in the Shanquilla Robinson case. Y'all remember in Mexico where the medical examiner said, no, she had this, she had these kind of bruises. This is what happened to her. This girl had severe spinal injuries, but the Mexican authorities called and told Shanquilla Robinson's mom she died by alcohol poisoning. So we know that people can be paid off. We know that people can lie. Money talks and BS walks. We know that. Could it be possible? I'm not saying he did do anything. Could it be that he got spooked and said, oh my God, Ashlee did hurt herself, but nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to believe me. No matter what I say, how I say it, because of the fight last night, everybody's going to assume that I did something to her. Could it be that angle? What are your thoughts? Now, we're going to look at a timeline breakdown. Thank you, Somali Queen. Shout out to you for sending me over these details and these facts. They are very, very helpful. The Ashlee Janae case summary timeline. April 8th, 2026, she was found in a hotel room in critical condition. She was still alive and taken to the hospital. She was fighting for her life. And the medical report said that she arrived with a strong pulse. April 9th, she passed away while receiving treatment. Currently, the investigation is ongoing and the body has not been released to the family. Now, here's the thing. Unless the family has the money to ship the body from Africa to the United States, they're going to hold that body. Here's some key points. She was found alive, not dead, which means medical intervention occurred. Another key point, a hotel worker discovered her and raised the alarm. But we have conflicting reports because the medical examiner said that the husband said he found her. Her fiance, Joe McCain, was not in the room and has not been arrested. The couple was recently engaged. The incident occurred in Nungiwi, a busy tourist area. Official cause of death has not yet been confirmed at the time that this timeline was established. So now we know it's suffocation and what was it? Suffocation and strangulation. That's what the medical examiner said. Unanswered questions, exact timeline before she was found. Medical details of her condition and cause of death. We got that now. Scene details and possible evidence. They're saying a piece of clothing. How tall was Ashlee? She would have to be pretty strong to get up there and make a noose that could support her body weight under pressure. Most women can't tie that strong of a knot. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but most women, if she's been drinking the night before, how strong are I need to see the room. I need to see. Verification of fiance's whereabouts. They're saying they weren't able to verify his whereabouts during that time after they separated the couple. And if you're saying that he found her, how did he get in the room? It still goes back to my first question. Who gave him a key card? Digital and surveillance evidence. We still haven't seen that. Conclusion, this is an ongoing investigation with no confirmed final cause of death yet. We have it yet. We have it now. Several important details remain Unclear. This is very unclear. Prayers to the family. Mm-mm-mm. Now, here's the thing. I want to read this. According to the police, Ashlee had traveled there. We know that with her fiance. Family members confirmed the couple was on vacation when the tragic situation unfolded. Police said that the two were experiencing relationship issues during the trip. Y'all, this don't sound right to me. Why would you propose to a woman that you were fighting with to the point that you had to be separated? I have a lot of questions. Is this the first fight they've ever had? Was this a tumultuous relationship? Was the back and forth ongoing? Was this like over before it started? And was the proposal a means to an end? So they were experiencing relationship issues, not an issue, singular. They said issues, to the point that the hotel staff had to step in and separate them. That's a lot of hollering. Was there a physical altercation? That's very intense. It's just not adding up. They go on to say there was a disagreement, and the hotel management made the executive decision to separate them, placing them in their own room. Commander, that's what the commander said. He added that the hotel staff later contacted authorities. He added that the hotel staff later contacted authorities after becoming concerned about Ashlee's well-being, indicating there may have been warning signs prior to the incident. See, the only time that you're going to call the police is if you're concerned that he's going to do something to her. They called the police, the hotel staff, because they were scared for her. They were concerned for her as a woman. What behavior did he display that caused them, when they separated them, to say, let's call the police? Because something ain't right with this white man and the amount of behavior that he's exhibiting towards this Black girl. We're concerned for her well-being. We're not concerned for her taking her life, but we're concerned for her well-being. I need to call the police. So you call the police when you think somebody's in danger or there's a risk of danger or harm. Officials say Robinson was still alive when police were alerted. She was transported to a hospital for emergency care, but sadly passed away the following day, Friday, April 10th. Hold on. They called the police after separating them because they were concerned. When the police were dispatched to the hotel, it proved their concern to be valid because she was indeed in danger, period. Whether it's by her own doing, allegedly, because that's what he's saying, or by the doing of his hands. What are your thoughts? What do y'all think? It seems like they do have intentions of returning her body to the United States, but they want to do more medical examinations. And they're saying this is just standard procedure for us before arrangements are made to return her to the United States. This is a very, very, very sad situation. And it's not making sense at all. Now, I want to share something that was posted by a good friend of Ashlee. Her name is Savannah Britt. She says, we need justice for my friend Ashlee Janae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiance Joe McCain claims she hung herself. You see how they're coming out with the original report, which is, did no hotel staff find her? He said she hung herself. She said, anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide. We need answers now. That's brutal. That's a very, very brutal way to die. Looking in the eyes, if it is true. Somebody you think that love you, somebody you feel like that can trust you, somebody who's asking you to spend the rest of your life with them. The hotel staff has concerns. I need to know more. Listen, Savannah, mom, now is not the time to go quiet. If you want answers, if you want people to rally around, listen, the internet can shake things up. The internet, bloggers, content creators, people sharing videos can get answers. But if you know anything, you got to say what that fight was about. You got to say why you are asking for justice. We know she's gone, but if he's hit her before, I don't know. Whatever it is, you got to start talking because otherwise you're protecting him if what you say is true. If there's a history, I don't give a damn how much he's worth. If there's a history of any type of violence, assault, you better start talking. That's the only way you're going to get justice. It starts with you guys. We can only go by what you're saying, but if you're holding secrets and you're not saying anything, and I ain't even lying, this ain't even for us to be messy, but we got to help you get the word out. We got to shake some shit up if what you're saying is true. But you got to put it all out there. And now is not the time to be coy. Let's take a look at some of the documentation of Ashlee and Joe's relationship.
Hey guys, so we have a developing case out of Africa. This is crazy. I'm going to share everything that we know right now. So this right here is Ashlee Janae. She's a Miami lifestyle influencer who was in Tanzania, Africa, celebrating her 31st birthday and her recent engagement. She was reportedly found dead at the Serval Wildlife Resort in early April of 2026. Her fiance, Joe McCann, the founder of Asymmetrical Finance, said that Tanzanian authorities ruled her death a suicide by hanging. However, her family and friends have strongly pushed back against that explanation and are demanding more answers. On April 3rd, 2026, Ashlee posted a video of Joe proposing to her on one knee during a safari that they were on. Her family said that she did not appear to be in a dark space and that she was only looking forward to the future. Her last post on Instagram was made on April 5th, 2026, and it shows her feeding a giraffe while the phrase "Happy Birthday, Ashlee" is spelled out in rose petals at her feet. She captioned the post, quote, "Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be."
Now, the rose petals indicate to me that if let's just say if what the people on the internet are saying, hey, we think you know more than what you're giving. There's more to this. She didn't take her life. I'm going to say it wasn't premeditated because the roses, just everything that he organized for her birthday, it doesn't appear, now I'm no expert, I'm no detective, but it doesn't appear that he took her to Africa to take her life. I'm going to say if there's any chance that he did commit a crime or if there is foul play, it was in the heat of the moment. Something went bad real quick, real fast.
Again, seemingly happy, at peace, and looking forward to the future. There were no signs of distress. Now, Ashlee is said to be known for sharing, quote, soft life content on Instagram. She highlights trips that she goes on, luxury and personal milestones. And just looking at her Instagram page, she lives a life that a lot of people aspire to live. And this is just getting a lot of people confused as to why.
I'm going to say this. I want to make some, it's not my commentary. I'm going to say she presents a life. Or presented a life that most people would aspire to live because we don't know who the man is. We don't really know the real Joe McCann because he's refusing to talk. He's not giving the family any other details. To me, he seemed to be playing defense. That could be for a number of reasons. He could have already reached out to an attorney who could have said, listen, no matter how you look at this thing, how you slice it and dice it, you are going to be the prime suspect. Shut your mouth. Don't you say a word. I know you want to help, but my boy, you are a white man in Africa. Be quiet. That could be one take, or there could be indication, there could be holes and gaps in the fact that they questioned his initial reports based on the big ass fight that they had, and they were already concerned for her well-being. Somebody didn't believe you. Somebody think you had something to do with it.
Why she would do something like this to herself. Now, there are a lot of rumors circulating online about this case. Some people are claiming that this was initially a sugar daddy relationship before it turned into a romantic relationship.
That could be possible. That could be possible. Now, let me say this. It's going to get real uncomfortable, but we're going to have to talk about when we start talking about sugar babies and sugar daddies, typically it's in exchange for a particular sexual satisfaction, but it's more glammed up. It's more glammed up than the norm. Ashley's 31. I'm not really sure how old Joe is. We can find out real quick. Let's see. That could be. Let me see. Because a year is not a long time. He's 67. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. Hold on. They don't have a name. They've kept his details really under wrap. Can somebody give me his age? I'm looking, but I can't find it. We don't know a lot about him. He's able to scrub the internet of a lot of things about him. We know he's an asymmetric crypto founder. We know he dips and dabs in crypto. But his birth year, birthday, it's hard to find that information on him.
I was actually looking at her IG, and it seems like the two of them started dating in November of 2024. In November of 2025, she posted a 1-year anniversary thing. So they've been dating for about 2 years almost. There's also people online that claim they know Ashlee, and they're saying that she was actually found in a tree, not inside her hotel room like initial reports were sharing. And on top of those claims, there are multiple reports claiming that Joe waited 2 full days before notifying authorities or contacting Ashlee's family about her passing. Essentially, people are under the belief that Joe did something to Ashlee and staged everything to make it look like she had done something to herself. Again, though, this is all just talk online and none of this has been confirmed. Essentially, the only thing that law enforcement has confirmed is that she's been found deceased. Could she?
All right. There's another possibility. There's another possibility. Use your imagination. There's another possibility that just hit me. Because nothing is making sense. None of this is making sense. And when I think about it, earlier when I started off the live, I used the word and I said fetish. And y'all said fetish or preference. And I said, you know what? Thank you for correcting. That's a better word. But when I listened to this influencer, this creator talk, and he's talking about the beginning stages of the relationship. The relationship did allegedly evolve over time, but it may have started off as a hookup. Now, I said, Joe, we know you got an appetite or a preference for young Black women, younger, smart, attractive, beautiful, chocolate Black women. And they're saying he was a sugar daddy. Ashlee was a sugar baby initially. And it just evolved. And that's just what it is, right? No matter if you're Black, dating a younger Black girl, white guy, dating a younger white young lady, you're going to have to give these girls a really nice lifestyle. In exchange for that, these men, they have needs sexually. I wonder if there was a fight and there was concern in the hotel. I wonder now, and I got to use my grown-up mind, I wonder if they were separated. I wonder if he was intense, if not verbally, just the presence, his presence. He seems like he towered over her. But African people in these countries are fairly slim, so they can measure up and kind of assess, wait, that's a big guy. And even though he may not be yelling, he seems pretty intense. He seems like if he wants to harm her, he can. Hence the reason they called authorities. But I wonder if he went to her room and expected to be intimate. Strangulation, suffocate. What did it say? Strangulation, It said strangulation. And what was the other word? Suffocation. I wonder if there was any signs. I want to know how she was found. Was she naked? Was she clothed? Y'all get what I'm saying? I have a lot of questions. I also want to know if he was on some other type of time, if he was into some other shit and shit went too far that day. Use your imagination. There are couples. There's some people that like to make up to break. What is it? Break up to make up. Could it be that he was under that thought as a man? You know what? Shit is heated. I'm going to go in there, give her a kiss and a hug, and maybe we can make up a little bit. Mary said he lost it. Y'all get where I'm going? Because I'm like, why would you go in her room and just automatically? What's going on? So now when this kid says, oh, it could have gone too far. And we know race play is a thing. Oh, it's a real thing. Let me tell you why. Those details were disclosed in Shannon Sharp's case with the young lady that sued him and won $24 million. They would race play all the time. She would race play and say what she wanted him to do as a big black man. That's, it just struck me. I wonder. Let's continue.
Could she have done this to herself? Yeah, mental health does tend to creep up on people, and sometimes you wouldn't even expect someone to be facing something, and they are. But nonetheless, this is all very suspicious, and it warrants a deeper, further investigation, which authorities...
I mean, anything's possible, right? But only her mom knows that, and close friends. Did she have any mental health issues? Has she ever threatened to harm herself before? Has she ever gotten into a place before? And her mom said no. She said, my daughter has never given me any indication that she would be capable of harming herself or taking her own life. So I'm going to have to run with the mama. I'm going to have to go with the mama. But I wonder if Mr. White Man, Mr. Joe McCain, you went in there wanting to make up and she wasn't feeling it, or maybe it started off and then you went too far. Hence the reason y'all say, well, why was there no commotion? Hence the reason. We've seen people accidentally take it too far in love. You've seen stories of people engaging, and this is something that they do on the norm. And I'm not saying Ashlee did or not. I'm just getting into a different realm. And you hear reports that they took it too far. Denise, we are exploring. You said this commentary is it's all over the place, over the freaking whole internet. Let me ground you real quick, because nobody knows. Hell is all over the place. We just showed you the police is saying one thing, the medical examiners are saying another, the family saying, it's all over the place, and nobody really knows except him, because Ashlee's not here to tell her story. I'm just giving you my theory. That's it. That's all. Yeah, we can only speculate because he's not giving up anything. Hell, the police don't even know.
Authorities say they are conducting. I'm going to be following this case very closely, so make sure you're following me, checking the comments, the description, and my page to stay up to date on the latest. I'm sure a lot more information is going to come out and more clarity is going to be made soon. What are you guys making of all of this? Let me know. Hey guys.
Now, I'm going to say this. I don't think we're ever going to know. I think he's going to carry it to his grave. I don't think we'll ever be satisfied, no matter what the truth is, because I think the internet have made up their mind, right, wrong, and or indifferent. I think based on her family, friends, and loved ones, they're saying, nope. There are some inconsistencies. We've established that fact just from comparing the different reports from the commander, the police commander, and the medical examiner. Now, Joe doesn't stay around too long. Joe was once married to a black woman. Hold on, let's get into it right here. So we know he's been married before. Give me 1 second. To a black woman. I'm not going to say her name because she has a very lucrative career. And I wouldn't want to mess that up for her by bringing her scrutiny and attention because she has 2 small kids. And, well, you know what? Let me cover it up. Hold on. Very lucrative career. He was married to her in 2018 and he left her in 2021. Now, I went down a rabbit hole, Joe. And if what I found is to be true, you left her while she was pregnant. Hold on. What? You left her while she was pregnant because she made a post. Y'all said protect black women. That's what I'm doing. I will not reveal where she works or her name. In 2022, they were divorced. He left her in 2021. But in 2022, she says, I'm on a caregiving hiatus. I had a baby on Christmas 2022, and my mom got diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer in June. So if you left your wife in 2021 and she had the baby in 2022, you left her pregnant. You do have the ability to detach as a man, as a husband from these black women in vulnerable situations. Her mom was dying of stage 4 kidney cancer. She was pregnant and you left her. She was pregnant with her second child. I'm going to assume this was her second child. And she says, it's hard to find the same meaning here, but I'm hopeful I will again. Do you get that? Watch this. Your first wife, after being married to you, you leave her in 2021. She's pregnant. She gives birth in 2022. You leave her to deal with a newborn. You leave her to deal with the dying mother. And she posts, it's hard to find the same meaning here. I'm going to assume here on earth, but I'm hopeful I will again. Now, I'm not saying that she was suicidal, but it sounds like you have a history of finding these healthy black women and leaving them in shambles. Capable, smart, strong, dedicated. And if you understand this lady's background, she was solid when you found her. You married her only to leave her. And she's struggling to find the meaning here. What do I do now? My mom's dying. My husband just left. I'm with a second child. My world is falling apart. There are some people that feed off of healthy people. There are some people that are just, they do what they want because they can. She said, right now I'm spending my time where it matters most, where I know I'll never regret it. I'm proud of all I've accomplished in the professional realm, but I'm gone to a deeper place. But I have to go. But I've gone to a deeper place within myself, and none of the external validation drives me anymore. She hit rock bottom. I just want to make meaningful work with people I care about that challenge me and make me better. To everyone I've worked with in the past, I hope you still think of me fondly. And when I pick up the phone again in time, I trust that you'll vouch for my character, for the way I continue to show up when shit goes sideways or when it goes to plan. The stakes have never been higher, but I've never been more at peace. I'll be back when it's right. Growth and grief can be deeply painful, and clarifying I'm wading through it all right now. If you can send a prayer up for my mama in the meantime, I'd be eternally grateful. Sir, what are you doing to these women? Hell, because if I didn't know any better, and thank God she's alive and well, that sounds like a suicide note. And I'm not saying I'm just saying, what are you doing to these women? It sounds like Miss Special Case said, Baby Joe is out here for a good time, not a long time. He just like manipulating a strong black woman. It's a thrill for him. Very evil. Break him down. That woman posted that in a place you wouldn't expect to find that. Let me just say that. And I found it. You know you hit rock bottom. When you post that in a place, we typically wouldn't post that. Now, the reason why I'm not going to say her name is because she just landed a global job this month. It's not fair to her that she would have to get this type of attention because she does have 2 children for him. She's out there doing her thing on a large scale. Her life is coming back together in the midst of this craziness that's happening to her children's father, her ex-husband, right? She lives in Oregon. So it sounds like he likes to recruit right there in Oregon. Now, let me show you. Let me see if I can remove her name. I don't know, Joe. People say you're sinister. I mean, I don't know if that's him being sexually playful with some of these looks in the photos, and it can be, right? I don't want to reach. Give me 1 second. But in this photo, she's looking down, doting, loving. He's given whatever it is he's trying to give. Some people have said, it's funny that in some of these photos, he's always has this look when it came to Ashlee. And it could be neither here nor there. I just wanted to call it to your attention. But also, I want to show you something that he posted. Let me see if I can get back to the screen. Give me 1 second. Kind of feel like my screen, it froze on me. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Hold on. So I want to go back to, I'm waiting on my computer. It's funny that he's a big time crypto CEO, but you can't find a lot on him. Now, he does reaches for the best of the best. He ain't dating no kizzy. And it seems like, I'm sorry, Joe, that you like to date black women as accessories, purses on your arm, that you carry them around. And I don't know what that means in your circle, your social circle, and you marry them as an honor. Hold on. Give me 1 second. You stay married, barely 3 years, 2018. So it seems like his relationships crumble pretty fast and they have a lifespan of 2 to 3 years, if that. It seems like you impregnate pretty fast and in the words of BB King, they say when the thrill is gone, so is Joe. And it could be a fetish, y'all. Shannon Sharp had one. When we were able to see the text messages that was exchanged between Shannon Sharp and his quote unquote preferences, there was a fetish underneath there. The types of things that he liked to do, the types of things that he wanted to hear. And my computer is frozen. So give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me see. And if so, I will try to keep going without. Okay, here we go. It's frozen up on me. So if you can hear me, give me a 1 in the chat. All right. Looks like we're back. Thank goodness. That's all I got. I don't know. It's hard for me to believe she took her own life. And if she did, that means she was under some heavy, heavy stress and duress. That if she did, that means typically in situations like that, I want you to know you hurt me bad. I want you to know you broke my heart. I want you to know that this is your fault. The way she was found. If what he's saying is true, if what he's reporting is accurate and there is absolutely no foul play, she wants you to know that you drove her to do that, if that is true. What are your thoughts? I just don't see it. I'm gonna have to go with the mom. Whatever you did to her after proposing to her, that's some sick shit. Because you should have been man enough to not pick a fight, to not engage in the fight. It's supposed to be the time of her life. Now, I don't know Joe's mental health background because we're talking about Ashlee's. I think it's only fair to talk about his. Now, they say narcissists love to ruin special occasions and holidays. I'll propose to you. I'll whisk you away, take you on a trip for your damn birthday, ask you to marry me, and then start a big ass fight to break up with you. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And this is one of those fights that got out of control. This is one of those fights that has changed the trajectory of both his life and her life forever. You're the oldest. They say you got over 20, you're 20 years her senior. Desira says, my thoughts is I don't believe she took her own life. Nothing is making sense. I don't either. I don't. She called her mama to say we're fighting. That's somebody that has nothing to hide. That's somebody that's open, that's vulnerable. That's somebody that's like, damn. That's somebody who's probably in shock. Mom, we're fighting. I can't believe we're fighting. It's my birthday. Why would he da-da-da-da-da? He just asked me to marry him, Mom, and now he's picking a fight. I don't know. She was concerned. That's why she called her mom. She didn't understand it. What's wrong? Why are we fighting? She probably became really emotional. The hotel didn't say anything about her being under the influence of alcohol. They didn't give any description of her being intoxicated, inebriated, or out of her mind. As a matter of fact, it says they were concerned for her well-being, that they call the African police. Sharonda TV Live. Sharonda TV says, thank you for the 10 piece and the pepper. You said, glad I caught a live. Appreciate your commentary, Queen. You did an amazing job. Thank you. So, Joe, I think there's foul play in some way. Even if you walked in and you didn't render aid, even if she told you she was going to do it, you didn't get in there. I don't think you're being transparent. Valerie said you believe she called her mom to get some advice about him. Two days to report. Yeah, and then the fact that the African authorities are not cooperating and giving the family any information, that's not her husband, y'all. Mary Willis says that baby did not take her life. May she rest in peace. And look, not only that, she was fighting for her life. Let's keep that in mind. She was fighting. Whatever happened to her in that room, she was still fighting for her life. The medical report said she arrived to the hospital with a very strong pulse. She wanted to be here. She was fighting for her life. She wasn't going out easy. And she succumbed to whatever happened at the hospital 2 days, 24 hours later. Anita says her mother knows her state of mind. Well, her mother told you. Her mother told us, I'm sorry. Her mother said, my daughter has never given any indication that she would ever harm herself. So that is her state of mind, according to the mother. DG, member for 26 months. DG says strangulation is blockage of blood flow to and from the brain, hands around neck. Suffocation is the blockage of air through nose and mouth. Oh. Medical examiners should provide cause of unaliving after the autopsy. Well, it said strangulation and suffocation. So if she's hanging, why would her nose be covered? Unless somebody tried to suffocate her and decided to move to something else, allegedly. Sandra P says, I wonder if they'll allow him to leave the country. Hope not. They won't tell us. We'll never know. If it's being alleged that he's paying and money is being handed off. Helga says, I don't believe this is the first time they fought or she was in danger. She called her mom and told her about the fight and room separation. Something's off. That's right. That's not somebody that wants to harm themselves. That's somebody that's heartbroken. That's somebody that's upset. That's somebody that's shocked. That's somebody that, typically you probably wouldn't put nobody in your business. But at 31 years old, hell no, I got to call my mama. I need somebody to help me make this make sense. Yeah. B. Bellkill says, I thought everybody said he's back in the U.S. He could be. Lisa said somebody could have done something at the hospital. Was he in her room? They're not disclosing those details. Miss Carter, welcome. She says, I have a belief as a mother. I believe as a mother, grown daughters, for them to have a place to call at a time that should have been special to share such bad news. She was crying out to her mom. She was. Miss Special K says she believes that the African authorities may have been paid, and I think this isn't Joe's first time. They covered for him before. You think so? I mean, what you're saying is that means that he's gone to Africa before, and I don't know that. The Side Eye Society said that man is back in the U.S. Bitcoining. Randy, that makes sense. Dominant people need a submissive person in their life. That makes a lot of sense. Well, that's all I got for it right now. It doesn't make sense. I don't believe, I can't, the details aren't there. There's conflicting reports between the two African entities. The medical examiner saying one thing and the police commander saying another. Yeah. It's just not adding up at all. And it's very unfortunate. And let me see if there's anything else that may provide helpful or useful in today's conversation before we go ahead and wrap up. Let's see. Who is this? Okay. Oh, we found the ex-wife. Should I show it or no? Beautiful girl. All right. Listen, he has a pattern. We know that he started to date Ashlee about age 29. He married his ex-wife at age 28. So his ex-wife was 28 when he took her and married her. And about Ashlee's age, he discarded her. At age 31, he discarded her. Those are two commonalities. 28, married her, left her at 31. Ashlee was 31 when she passed away. Now we're getting into patterns. Nothing significant, just small details. And it's small details that begin to make things make sense when you start to look at, well, why would this happen? And his ex-wife is alive and well, but when we start to think about discarding and walking away from relationships, and it's no different than you engaging in a relationship with a man that cheats, and you say, child, around the 2-year mark, or he always breaks up when this happens. So now we've established patterns. That's it. Denise says, thank you for covering this story. You're welcome. So let me go to something. 28 to 31. He likes him about 28, 27, 28, 29. 2 to 3 years is all you got, because he left that ex-wife pregnant while her mother was dying. Let me read it. Blank works. I'm not going to say where she works. Did a lot of soul searching before. Listen to this. So his ex-wife, I'm just going to call her Crystal. That's not her name, but I'm going to just say Crystal. Beautiful wedding, y'all. And the article, well, first of all, they got married in Texas. That's very interesting. So they must have met in Texas and relocated to Portland. Let's just say her name is Crystal. Crystal says it's not easy breaking with tradition. She did a lot of soul searching before deciding to walk down the aisle by herself, carrying marigolds and garden roses. Not everyone is blessed with a close bond with their fathers, but there's so much pressure to honor this relationship at a wedding, she says, but she was proud of her bold choice. In his vows, Joe McCann, he was 10 years older than her. At this time, he was chairman of a software company, told her she'd never have to walk alone again. That was in 2018. He was 38 in 2018. I got to pause. So Joe is about 46. He's 46 years old. There you have it. He's 15 years older than Ashlee, maybe 16. On the day of her wedding, he looked at her and told her, you'll never have to walk alone again, only to leave her pregnant in 2021. The couple's bow tie clad dog, Hayes, was the star of the ceremony. After we were pronounced man and wife, everybody clapped and he ran us down the aisle. The bride says, guests dined on Texas ribeye and duck, fat roasted potatoes before feasting on many cheesecakes, flourless chocolate cakes with chocolate ganache and toffee blondies. Tropical invitations hinted at the decor, including similocks, roses, marigolds, all these kind of beautiful flowers, and in blue pillar candles to come. Exotic greenery is not what you expect to find in the whole country. The bride says through 70 species of rainforest and desert plants grow at the greenhouse. But anywho, she appears to be a fair-skinned Black girl, biracial maybe. When I tell you this wedding was one for the books, it was one for the books. And they were divorced shortly after that. She's been through a lot, but it seems like the lifespan of his relationships aren't very long. Thank you, Aisha. She said, Queen, this was amazing coverage and commentary. Thank you for a great live as always. I'm in the bushes. We're happy you're here. Dang. Y'all are asking me to show the wife. I'ma chill. Hold on. Damn. We have her. We know what she looks like. He likes a particular look. He does. Let's see if there's anything else that you would need to be aware of. And of course, we have people that are on the internet that believe Ashlee had a very strong opinion about Black men. And that they felt like her fans were warning her that Joe was no good for her. Exotical. That's all we got. I think I've covered pretty much everything for what I can show you. If somebody else shows you, I'll let them, but I don't think I want to do that. I don't want to cause somebody to go into a dark place. But I want to share one more thing. Here we go. And as this is playing, I got to go open my door for my, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and share this with you. Hold on.
Family of Ashlee Robinson. She's the 31-year-old influencer who was on vacation with her fiance celebrating her birthday. He actually proposed on the trip, but something crazy happened. She was having a good time. Her family said she was very excited to be there, shared pictures with the family, FaceTimed them when she was proposed to. But they released a statement saying that Ashlee was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to a local hospital where her death was confirmed hours later. I spoke to Robinson's parents. Here's some of what they had to say.
It doesn't make any sense. She was traveling with her, with her boyfriend, and he was taking what was supposed to be a celebratory trip to celebrate her birthday that was coming. And they were in a gorgeous place in Africa and happy. Everything that we knew was that she was supposed to be happy, and she was engaged. She celebrated her birthday thereafter, and then she's just gone. We're confused about how that could change so drastically.
What can you tell us in terms of how you found out, and have you spoken to her fiance?
I was initially contacted by him to let me know that something had occurred and that she was in the hospital, but it was very limited communication and not with a lot of detail. I asked him, when it happened and where it happened, and he told me that something had occurred 11 hours prior to when he was reaching out to me.
We found out that our daughter had passed from the hotel. The fiance did not reach out to us at all.
Do you believe that Joe McCann had something to do with your daughter's death?
We don't have, it's under investigation, and we don't know what went on.
It's under investigation, and like we said, we just want transparency. Just let us know.
I want to make sure that everybody is fully aware that she was a light. She was a light. She was a beautiful person, and this doesn't align with who she is.
Understandably, the family really didn't want to talk about Joe McCann, the man who proposed to their daughter. When you go online, you can see he's the CEO of Asymmetric, which is a venture capital company that invests in crypto companies. But the point is, the family wants answers. They don't understand why they haven't been able to reach Joe. They don't understand why he wasn't more forthcoming about what exactly happened to their daughter. And it's why they said they're speaking out. Next steps for them, they said, is trying to get to Zanzibar so they can get to the bottom of what happened. I just spoke to the
It's given cold-hearted motherfucker. Excuse my language. It is given cold-hearted. You have to take into consideration the psychological and the behavioral traits of the entire experience. This is a woman that he was prepared to spend the rest of his life with. So her family would become his family. To death do us part. For you to not even give the family a call, I don't give a damn what your lawyers told you, what your high-powered $1 million lawyers told you. This was about to be your freaking wife. You get your ass on the first thing smoking and you go over there with loved ones if you have absolutely nothing to hide. I wouldn't give a damn. I got nothing to hide. I just lost the woman of my dreams. I am going to be with her mother. I'm going to be with her father. Not only that, I'm not leaving Tanzania. I'm not leaving Zanzibar until her body is safely shipped back to the USA. And tell me what you need so that I can get you here. That's what innocence does. I don't give a damn about the legal play and what the high-powered attorneys are telling you. This is what innocent people do. And it's funny to me that all of a sudden now, since a black girl is dead in Africa, now you remember you white. Now you remember you ain't got to talk. Now you remember that anything said or done can be used against you in the court of law. Y'all make it make sense. This does not add up to me. This is giving white privilege. I'm out of here. I'm not talking. I'm not speaking. And not only that, you yanked the freaking dignity from her parents of having any answer. You took their dignity. Even though she's gone, she'll never come back to life. At least you can do is give them a little bit of dignity and talk to them and respect them like decent folks. How in the hell you going to take their daughter to Africa and then not abide by the cultural aspects of African Americans? You talk to the parents. If you had nothing to do with it, it's not going to hurt to say, I believe Ashlee took her life. I don't have a lot of detail. They are working to figure it out. He won't even fucking call them. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. He won't even give these people a phone call. When I tell you a double whammy, devastation, it makes you say, who in the hell did I turn my daughter over to? Why did I ever give you my blessing? If he called the dad to ask him. So this ain't no, Ashlee came from a very good family, 2-parent household. And you were treating these people like their daughter is a hoe from the street. Sir, when I tell you heartless, I mean cold-hearted. Cold-hearted. She deserves better. Let's listen to it one more time.
To the family of Ashlee Robinson. She's the 31-year-old influencer who was on vacation with her fiance celebrating her birthday. He actually proposed on the trip, but something crazy happened.
Why did she kneel? I'm just going through the body language. He proposed to her, and maybe she could have just been happy, but she kneels down with him. And at first I thought, well, maybe it's just African culture. Maybe she's in Africa and she's just going to give him a nice little kneel. I don't know.
She was having a good time. Her family said she was very excited to be there, shared pictures with the family, FaceTimed them when she was proposed to. But they released a statement saying that Ashlee was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to a local hospital where her death was confirmed hours later. I spoke to Robinson's parents. Here's some of what they had to say.
It doesn't make any sense. She was traveling with her with her boyfriend, and he was taking on what was supposed.
I don't like white men with blue eyes. They scare me. I know that's off, but listen. I think they mean.
Supposed to be a celebratory trip to celebrate her birthday that was coming, and they were in a gorgeous place in Africa and happy. Everything that we knew was that she was supposed.
He was a big guy.
To be happy, and she was engaged. She celebrated her birthday thereafter, and then she's just gone. We're confused about how that could change so drastically.
What can you tell us in terms of how you found out, and have you spoken to her fiance?
I was initially contacted by him to let me know that something had occurred, and that she was in the hospital, but it was very limited communication and
Limited. Very careful. When you are innocent, there's nothing to protect. Limited is very careful. I don't want to say too much. I don't want to trip over my words. I don't want to disclose more than I have to. Very limited. Therefore, nobody can catch me in a lie.
and not with a lot of detail. I asked him, when it happened and where it happened, and he told me that something had occurred 11 hours prior to when he was reaching out to me.
He waited. Some would beg to say he wanted to make sure she was dead before he made that call. Thank you, Miss Luz. Miss Lou, I'm sorry. Thank you, Miss Lou, for the $10 super chat. We appreciate you. He wanted to make sure she was dead. He didn't call while she was fighting for her life. Saying, we got to pray, mama. Mom and dad, we got to pray. Ashley's fighting for her life. We got to pray. None of that. I'm going to call you when she's dead.
We found out that our daughter had passed from the hotel. The fiance did not reach out to us at all.
Do you believe that Joe McCann had something to do with your daughter's death?
It's the pause right here. I believe the father is weighing the options. But see, I think at this point, he's looking at it from a man's perspective. Men understand men. Not saying the father's a bad guy. The father didn't have a chance to answer because he knows the bear versus the man. If I want to leave my daughter in the forest, do I choose the bear or do I choose the man?
We don't
want
have, it's under investigation, and we don't know what went on.
It's under.
I wish a father would have had a chance to answer. I wish the mom would have held her horses in that moment. Because at that point, we needed a man's perspective.
Investigation, and like we said, we just want transparency. Just let us know.
I want to make sure that everybody is fully aware that she was a light. She was a light. She was a beautiful person. And this doesn't align with who she is.
Understandably, the family really didn't want to talk about Joe McCann, the man who proposed to their daughter. When you go online, you can see he's the CEO of Asymmetric, which is a venture capital company that invests in crypto companies. But the point is, the family wants answers.
This white man and went back to being white. This white man is behaving in a realm of white privilege. I'm going to disassociate myself. Have you ever been friends with somebody in corporate America and you should have known you was going to get fired because everybody started backing away from you and leaving you out as an outlier? To me, that's what he's doing. He's backing away from all this black stuff, from Africa, the black folks, the black chicks, the outside, all of that, the city girls. And he is easing his way back into being the CEO of Asymmetric, whatever. He is going back over there to his white zip code. And he's going to pretend none of this ever happened. And he's going to fly below the radar. And he will probably, in the next couple of years, marry a white woman.
They don't understand why they haven't been able to reach Joe. They don't understand why he wasn't more forthcoming about what exactly happened to their daughter. And it's why they said they're speaking out. Next steps for them, they said, is trying to get to Zanzibar so they can get to the bottom of what happened. I just spoke to the family of Ashlee.
That's it. That's all. So here's the thing. He probably won't be held accountable, even if there is foul play, because Tanzania would have to extradite him back to their country. And somebody, I can't remember who it is, you put it in the chat, you felt like he purposely picked this trip because this country has absolutely no ties to the good old US of A. So that government would have to come here. It could, because it didn't occur on US soil, right? The United States of America would have to be willing to work with this African country to expedite him back over there if he is found guilty of foul play in order to get justice. I don't see that happening. You said when my brother lost his fiance, he stayed at her parents' house until after the funeral service. He said it helped him feel not so alone. Exactly. Why would you automatically detach from the love of your life, just like you did in that hotel room? Yep. Randy said, just like the guy whose wife went missing in the Bahamas. But listen, I saw a comment where one of you were saying, I think your name was Emily. Let me go see if I can find it. Emily. I should have highlighted it. Emily, you said her dad taught her to hate black men. Emily Grand, can you elaborate? Can you elaborate a little bit about that? I don't agree or disagree. I want to hear more. I'm curious. What did the mom teach her child about white men and how they are? Purdy birdie. Did she talk negatively about her black dad and uplift the white stepdad? What white stepdad? Ashlee had a white stepdad? Is that what you're saying? Because, hold on. Let me ask you something. So are you saying that the parents, no, I think it was her mom who taught her to hate black men. She is married to a white man. And Ashlee mentioned this in her tweets. So are you saying that the dad that's sitting there now, the mom and the dad are not together? They just came together to do the news interview, correct? Is that what you're saying, Purdy? Purdy birdie? Emily's saying, I don't think he ever loved her. Talking about Joe, she was a trophy. I don't think he did either. Let me tell you something. Come in a little bit closer. It's hard for most men to love, period. Truly love. I'm not saying they don't. Listen to me. But if a man were to ever get honest with you, and I'm not going to say men can't love. Listen to me, because y'all are going to take what you want and you're going to run with it. It's very hard. It is a challenge for most men to love deeply on a level that they would open up their heart and expose it to heartbreak. Many men, we haven't even gotten to Joe yet. Listen to me. We haven't even gotten to the cheaters and the scoundrels and the hellhounds and the mofos, the F-boys. I'm just talking on a basic level. Most men can live with you, marry you, procreate, and still keep a portion of their heart to themselves. Well, what is it? It has nothing to do with you. It's called the heart of a man. So then you combine now a man's instinct to protect, to provide. And when we talk about a man's instinct to protect and provide, that's just who he is as a man. It has nothing to do with you as a woman. He'll protect himself. He'll fight to the death before he allows somebody else to harm him, right? Animal instinct. It's just natural to them. I'm going to protect my heart, provide for myself. That's why sometimes we say, he's selfish. You're selfish. I cooked all this food. You sat there, ate it. It was good. You didn't even help me clean the dishes. You can't. Ask women, you got to work with these men. You got to work with your boys in the house. Excuse me. Don't just take and enjoy the parts. You need to contribute to the household. Excuse me. You need to take out the trash, do the dishes. And after a while of being reminded, he gets into an ebb and flow, because naturally, most, not all, men sit in a position of being selfish, naturally interested in themselves, right? And that's not negative. It is what it is. And an honest man will tell you, yeah, that's just kind of how we are. I mean, but we kind of have to learn and be taught, and hopefully the mom does it. But if not, that's why women get hurt a lot. And he has to go through a lot of relationships and break a lot of hearts, because he's learning to mind his freaking manners. And then finally he gets with one after having a lot of them. And now he's ready. for marriage. Now he's ready for a stable relationship, and you're following him on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and say, I be damn. Now I didn't gave him, I dated him in high school and he was an ass, or he was this and he cheated. And look at him. Look at him. He's thriving. I don't know if he's thriving. He just got with somebody that set some boundaries. So then that's just the average man, right? So then you start to get into the dark side, narcissism, assholes, jerks, the bear. Who are heavily disconnected, who see women as nothing but trophies and tools, something to use, something to carry around until the next model is out, the next iPhone. I got a 15, I need a 17. I got a 17, I can't wait till the 20 drops. That's it, that's all. And it sounds like that's what Joe is. So when you think about the base model of a man, and then you really start to get into the specifics of the ones that live a life like this, the athletes, the rappers, the ones with money that have not been able to tap into their good side or don't have to, right? Yeah. That explains the disconnect. Immediate disconnect. Not calling the mom, giving limited to no information, and pretending you never existed. You know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what the hell I'm talking about, some of you that are tuned in. So you're not seeing anything different. I just have to remind you. You've been through a relationship before, or a breakup where you thought he would call and check on you and he didn't. He stopped answering your calls. He was inconsistent. That's all you're seeing being played out at a larger scale. An asshole, a jerk. But we're dealing with death. You dealt with the breakup. That's it. That's all. Diabolical. Because even if you didn't touch her, you just ask her to marry you. Give her family the honor and the decency and the respect of answering any questions they may have if you are innocent. That's it. That's all. You say, hold on, Queen, I might be half man then. It depends on the kind of hell. A man can push you to be half man. Look. Somebody said women are selfish too. Yeah, everybody can be selfish, but we're talking about the heart of a man. Women are naturally giving. We're talking about your baseline. I don't know. Beautiful possibilities say a white man owns a resort where a lot of white people own things in Africa. You say a white man owns a resort they were staying at. I feel like they covered for him. Can somebody drop the name of the resort in the chat? We can do a tour of it in real time real quick. Randy said it's a defense mechanism we have. Fear. Fear breeds contempt. Fear. If somebody could drop that resort, I'm going to look it up and we're going to do a tour of it really quick. Zuri? Is that the name of the resort? Okay, got it. Here we go. Thank you. Let me pull it up real quick. And listen, don't be shocked in a year or two if they change the name of it. Like they did with the resort where Shanquilla Robinson was murdered. All right, here we go. Let's share this. Let's take a look at it. Here's the crazy part. So he's a millionaire, right? The resort was I'm looking at the price for May. It's just $500 a night. So when you think about him being a millionaire and dating this beautiful young Black girl, I mean, did he really roll out the red carpet, or did he go for the cheapest thing that he could find? You can get a hotel for $500 a night in the US. Yeah, it's recent. The Ministry of Flight. Yes, this just happened. Yep, she just died 4 days ago. He's saying that she committed suicide. I'm looking at it right here. Hold on. And even 900, that's not a lot, right? Most millionaires, I'm showing you right here on the screen. Look, $500, $563 a night. Let's take a look at it. I'm not saying it's a bad resort, but when you think about getting to the bag, as the young girls say, you got to be careful that they're not giving you the bare minimum. Okay, here we go. So they have villas. Here we go. So these are the villas. And imagine if they were in a villa together and they had to be separated. So you're not looking at a traditional hotel room where you're inside a brick and mortar. So she would have had to have been placed in a different villa, right? Now you get a visual. All right. This is a massage spa. This is a pool outside. This is the inside of the villa. This is an aerial view of the villa. Kind of gives you an idea of how spaced out the villas are within a few yards of each other. Okay, so let's just pretend that this was his villa right here by the beachfront, and this was her villa. I need to know what time. Do they say the time that she was found? I'm not impressed neither. Not for that white money. I'm not impressed. Hell, we could do that. I'm not impressed. I'm sorry. So he appeared to provide a life for her, but he was giving her the bare minimum. I'm not impressed. Oh, okay. Chad said that somebody said they believe the animal videos was AI. It could be. You might be right. I'm not impressed at all. And I'm not trying to be funny. Thank you, Valerie. Most millionaires, they're going to spend something for seclusion, privacy, upscale. You hear me? I spent more in October for Black Girl Day off in Cabo than he spent taking her to Africa. Thank you, Somali Queen, who's from Africa. She said there are way better resorts and hotels than this. He gave her mediocre. He gave her mediocre. So now we're starting to get into the thick of it. He wanted to appear to give her a life that he's not giving her. And you know what? That could be a thirst trap for other women. Hell, maybe she did catch him flirting with other women. It's, that caused that fight. Maybe she did catch him trying to line something up. Because when girls start to see this soft life, and girl, you in Africa and they not knowing that this is $400 or $500 a night, no different than a damn hotel in Miami. Oh yeah, I'm sure they come out the woodworks. I'm sure she has to beat them off like flies. I'm sure he's taking advantage of the girls being outside. I'm sure they are lined up. Randy said most wealthy men have a place where we wine and dine and then we go for the payoff. You said reports first said they were at the safari wildlife, but you see how none of those people have come forward? It could be AI. It's all for perception. What time did they say they found her body? Does anybody know? I'm going to tell you something. Nobody has given a time that he found the body. The owner is check. Oh, look, there you go. Oh, yeah, they're going to sweep this under the rug. They're going to sweep that under the rug. Number one, there's a lot of money involved. Nobody wants a scandal on their property. When I broke down the Shankwilla Robinson case, I said, this is going to go away. Let me tell you something. Money upon money. This is a tourist attraction. Nobody wants a scandal, even if it means, hey, she harmed herself. We got to go with that. You're going to hurt my business. You're going to cause me to go bankrupt. I cannot stand to lose millions of dollars annually from my tourist crowd. If people find out that a murder occurred allegedly on my villa, it's a wrap. Not only is it a wrap for that person that owns that resort, but also for the economy in that country. You get what I'm saying? So they have to make it go away. Okay, Chad says on her Instagram page, a female is breaking down his company and the money lost. Said 75 million was lost while on the birthday trip. Damn. No, but nobody knows. With no cameras on the property. Thank you, Trey. B. Bell says, I don't think he's all that rich, and she probably found out. But if she was in love, is she in love? Was she in love? I didn't hear the mom say love at all. I heard her say they were happy. She was happy. It was her birthday trip. It could have started, let's be honest, as a sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship, and it evolved. Maybe neither one of them were deeply in love. It still doesn't excuse the inconsistencies in the story, right? Okay, check the DM. All right, let's see if we can establish a time of death. That's why I'm holding this page. I'm trying to figure out something real quick. All right. Okay. Here we go. I got something. So let me ask you, Somali, was this within the same trip? Okay, here we go. Let's share something else. We want to share this. What we just have that came in. All right. This is from Serval Wildlife. It said, we would like to take a moment to address the recent news regarding the passing of influencer Ashlee. First and foremost, we extend our deepest condolences to her family, loved ones, and all those affected by this tragic loss. Our thoughts and prayers are with them during this very difficult time. We would like to clarify that the incident did not occur at Serval Wildlife, as confirmed in the statement released by the Zanzibar Police Force. The incident took place in Zanzibar. Didn't I just tell you? Everybody, men protect. A man's first instinct is to protect his business, his property, his heart, his money. They're coming out to issue a statement, not because they care, but to make sure, for the record, it didn't happen here. You can keep coming over here and petting our beautiful lions. This ain't on us. That's over there in Zanzibar. They got all that drama over there. But listen, if you come into Africa, we good to go. You safe here. That's what this is about. But let's continue. Ashlee visited our premises and had a positive and enjoyable experience, which is clearly reflected in the photos and videos shared on her own social media. She left our premises in a happy and good condition. Everybody's backtracking. What are they covering up? We also wish to clarify that the videos currently circulating online are from her time at Serval. She did not share content from Zanzibar. Oh, which may have led to confusion regarding the location of the incident. Listen, I'm picking up what they're putting down. They're saying, you notice how Ashlee did content over here. We're upscale. It's nice what we going on. Hell, she went down to Zanzibar. You ain't seen not one damn photo. That's what they saying. Not one video, because it ain't nothing to write home about. It's only $400 to $500 a night. So I'm just telling you, without telling you, you see the different level of experience? See, Ashlee documented us. She didn't document them. And they go on to say, out of respect, we have chosen not to repost or use her photos or videos on our page, as we do not want this to be seen in any way as marketing. As a team, we stand together with her family in this moment of grief and ask for understanding during this time. Thank you for your continued support. And not only that, this was needed. They picked a side. They said, as a team, we are standing with her family. Are y'all picking up what's happening right here? Zanzibar is standing with the white man. Several is saying, nope, we going with the family, because that was not our husband. Whatever they need, whatever support they need, whether the public display of whatever, we're going with the family. Our hearts are with the family. Zanzibar didn't even have enough professionalism to issue a public statement sending their condolences to the family. You know why you don't think about that? If you are busy covering up a scandal. Thank you, Emily. It's almost like a sophisticated cover up. Zanzibar, we're looking at you. We're waiting on you. You haven't even sent a public display of condolences, and it happened on your property. You were directly conflicting, posing a conflict of interest. You have conflicting reports. You're throwing your own medical examiner and their credibility under the bus when you come out and say he was nowhere around her. And the medical examiner say, to hell he wasn't. No, that's the mofo that found that motherfucker found her. That's the motherfucker that told us she was hanging from the closet. And that's why we purposely, without making it too obvious, called him a lying ass tramp, because we put 7 question marks. You remember they said William Shakespeare wrote the Old Testament of the Bible for King James, and King James issued a mandate that you were not to leave any trace of your authorship. And William Shakespeare secretly left his name in the Bible. Did y'all know that? In the scriptures. Going undetected by the king, defying the king's direct orders, but still let us know, I wrote this. That's what the medical examiner did. They couldn't say he lied, but those 7 question marks let me know. They know he's lying. Zanzibar missed the mark. Now, let's go back to Zanzibar, to the resort. Zanzibar refuses to provide a time of death. Somali Queen, how far away are you from Zanzibar? Let me do a mic check. How far away are you from Zanzibar? Let me get the scripture. You're asking me for the scripture. Give me 1 second. He signed his name in Psalm 46 of the 1611 King James Bible. Prophets claim that because Shakespeare was 46 years old when the Bible was completed, he hid his name by ensuring the 46th word from the beginning is shake and the 46th word from the end is spear. Psalms 46:11. He secretly signed his name. Y'all didn't know that? Yeah. King James recruited him to write the Bible, the King James Version, and forbade him to leave any clue that he was the poet of Psalms. So Shakespeare outsmarted the king. Yep. You're welcome. So I think that's what the medical examiner did in their own way with those question marks. Have you ever seen anything like that in a medical document? Not at all. That means it's questionable. It can't be relied upon. Even we can't. Hey, we're just documenting. You said, oh, I've learned my one thing for today. Thanks, Queen. You're very welcome. Janice Jacobs says, I tell you, I learn something every time I watch you. You know a lot about a lot. I read a lot. All right. So Valerie says, I'm looking now. Okay. Psalms 46. Let's see. I'll pull it up for you. It's the 46th word from the beginning and the 46th word from the end. But okay, Zanzibar right here. Here we go. All right, we're looking at this resort in real time, what it looks like. Yeah. And we have somebody in Africa that's a researcher for us. And she's saying that she's going to try to get there, boots on the ground. So these are the villas. Now, take a look at the villa. Do you know how loud the disturbance had to be for the front of the property to know that something was wrong? These villas are spaced throughout the property. It's not like the hotels that we're accustomed to. In order for them to hear, there had to be a serious disturbance. Very serious. Very concerning. All right. So this is one of the it's breakfast outside. So it seems like they focus more on the outside of the resort. And that's their marketing promo. The outside, the pool, not so much on the inside. Okay. Here's one of the, I'm going to say villas. This is one of the outside shots, another of the beach. So you have to be really loud. And not only that, they have to try to determine what villa the disturbance is coming from, right? It's late. You really don't know. So they probably had to kind of navigate throughout the property to figure out who in the hell is fighting. It ain't like it's room 303 on the third floor. You take the elevator, you go, you stand in front of the door. You have to figure out where the scream's coming from. Where's the profanities coming from? Wait a minute. You got to get a flashlight. This is a lot. Something really bad happened. Who said that place looks depressing? Thank you. So he could have easily gone to her room. Yes, he could have. Now we're getting an inside view of what this property looks like in real time. Yep. And it looks like, okay, so then we go to this one. This is yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm. This is it. Oh, let's see if we can see a closet. Y'all look for the closet. This would be the closet. This would be the closet. Right here. Let's look at it again. All right. The closet. Is there any way she could have been hanging from this door? Tied by a dress from the freaking door. No. Let's see if we can get a better shot of a closet. This is outside. I want to get to the closet now. Now I'm curious. Sorry. This is outside. I got to get back to the closet. Sorry. That's nice. Clean. All right. This is one of the villas. Let me see if I can just go straight. Okay, let's look in one of the villas. There's no closet in this one. I think he's lying. Okay. Okay. This is a massage room. Let's see. Yeah, this is a closet right here. So right here, you see where these beads are hanging? He's lying. That's why the medical person put a big old question mark. You're lying. You're not being forthcoming. Actually, nah, sir. Her body weight, just sheer weight pressure alone would have tore that door down. Kicking, because you still have a natural reaction to death, right? Kicking, squirming, if she put herself up there. Your body still goes into fight or flight mode. You did, well, let me be quiet. There has to be more detail. Okay, this is what the property looks like at night. So there would be no way they would know exactly what villa the disturbance is coming from unless Ashlee called. Now let's see if there's any phones in here. Let's go back to the villa. Now we need to see if there's any phones. So these are what the villas look like, okay? He could have easily accessed her room if he had a key. I need to pull up the villa again. This is at night. There's no way they would have known exactly what room to go to unless somebody made a call, either the neighbor or Ashlee herself. Okay, here we go. This is inside the room, the bathroom. Another night shot that lets you know security would have had to know exactly where they were going because it's just too dark. Inside the room, I'm looking for a phone. This is a wide view. Okay. A door of a resort. Let's see if we can zoom in. Maybe you do need a key card. You need a key card. There are numbers outside the door. Okay. This is a shot of a room. Villa. I may have to go back to the top. Now I'm just kind of trying to get to the villa. Another shot in the villa. Have you noticed they keep giving us the same shots? Let's do this. Okay. Some of the food. I'm looking for a phone in the villa. So far, I have not seen one. This seems like an open community area. This is kind of like a highlight of them making food and all of that. This is another area off on the property. Another, actually, let's just go. Let's do this right here. Zanzibar. All right, let's go to their gallery. I need to get in this room. Let's look at the gallery real quick. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. We're going to do photos first. All right. So we only get to see what they want us to see when we go on the website, but that's fine. These are all marketing promo photos. Okay. Let's see if we can get in these rooms. This is a 2-bedroom villa. I'm going to assume they had a 1-bedroom, but okay. Let's see this. I find it odd that they don't have a lot of photos of their room. The room should be the main attraction because you sleep in there. You know. Here's another one. Oh, that's a jewelry shop. No interior photos of the villas. Huh. Very interesting. Okay, here we go. This is a bungalow. Okay. Bedroom and bath. We can see the bath. And they use these beads to separate. So we got the bedroom, we got the bath. Let's see if we can find a closet. Not yet. Let's try this one. Nope. This is a Zuri suite. This is your suite. This is a 2-bedroom villa. This is the outside exterior. Okay, this is an oceanfront exterior. We need to see interior. It's hard to get really good photos of the interior. That means to me, as a traveler, your bedrooms may not be up to par. So this looks like either this is a front door to the right, if you're looking at this, or I wonder if this could be a closet door right here. This wood panel. Do y'all see what I'm pointing to? Let's see what y'all are saying in the chat. Okay, okay, I have a video. Somebody found a video of the bedroom. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second. Okay, perfect. This is a 3-bedroom oceanfront villa. Okay, hold on. And this is what it looks like at night in the main areas of the resort. All right. But those rooms, they're not showing those rooms on the inside. So let's go to the one where we did find the inside of the room. Here we go. Hold on. They're going fast. If you see the closet, let me know. I'm pretty slow. My eyes got to keep up. Okay. Okay. Did I miss the closet? Let me check it out. No, it's not AI because it's her. It's not AI. It's a video. You can see her reflection. That's a TikToker. Oh, you said they said she was found on a tree? He said the closet. Okay. You remember in the medical report, they said that he said the closet and they had question mark, question mark. Okay, I'm checking my my DM. I think I got it. All right, let's see what else. There's no way she could have hung herself from that closet. The doors aren't that strong. Oh, I can slow this down. No, I can't. We're going to play it one more time. This is the outside. I don't see a closet yet. Okay. Okay. Mm, yeah, sir, I don't believe that. And neither did the doctor or the examiner, whoever arrived on the scene to collect the body. Black Butterfly 1204. Thank you for the 5-piece and the pepper. He says, Queen, this reminds me of the Shanquilla, but one person, please direct this like you so very well did, Shanquilla. I did. I mean, thank you for your support. Yes, thank you too. Well, here's the thing. We have more details with Shanquilla than we did here because we just did. All right. So I don't. Oh, let me see. Hold on. You said I can long press it? On my phone, I can. I don't think you can do it on a desktop, but that's all we got today. You guys have hung out with me for over 2 hours. That's all we got. This is a very disturbing case. It's just not lining up. And the fiance isn't making it better. He's completely discarded these people, which is it's just not helping him at all from public opinion. It's it's very disgusting. It's very gross considering the gravity of the situation. Um, who needs a son-in-law like that, right? When you're thinking about this man just asked this beautiful young lady to marry him. And then when push comes to shove, he discards her like she's nothing. He throws away the family. He refuses to give any answers as if she doesn't matter. Here is a door. Tell me if you think this could be a closet. You see this back here? To the right of the mirror? And even if it were, it still doesn't seem strong enough. It just doesn't. Let's go back. Closer, look. So this may be the closet right here. Right here. Mm-mm-mm. This is a 3-bedroom ocean villa. See, the closets are going to be the same no matter what. We just need a clear view. I think that's all we got. Yeah, this is the closet. Y'all see the robes? I found the closet. Do you see the robes back here behind the bed? This is a trifold door. Double fold. I hope I'm saying it right. You see back here in the back? There are 2 robes hanging up. That will be your closet. I don't think that door would be able to support the body weight. On that door. Yeah. I'm with you, Dad. It's just not holding up, but that's all we got, y'all. Prayers for the party, to all parties involved, prayers to the family. Um, you think those would close, but the robes are hanging up though. There's robes hanging up on a hanger. Yeah, it's not possible. But the point I'm trying to make is I showed you what the doors look like, right? I showed you what the doors look like. So, um, I don't know if that theory can hold up what he's putting out there because I don't think the doors are strong enough. And all of the doors are the shutter style doors, but kind of flimsy, two-fold, trifold doors. Oh, screenshot it and then zoom in. Okay, let's see. Well, I'm on the computer. Let me see. I might be able to. I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Give me 1 second. I know how to do it. Hold on. Now I got to go back and find it. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I got you covered. Let me go back down. Give me 1 second, y'all. I may as well let y'all see what I'm doing. All right, here we go. And I promise you I'm done after this. Matthew, hey, welcome. Smooth. You said off topic. What I hate is some women will call black men controlling for suggestions on how they should move, but get with a white man and cooperate fully. Listen, that is a huge debate today as it relates to this topic. I didn't want to introduce it, but listen, it's out there. And they are debating heavily that could it be that she gave white men too much grace and put her trust in the wrong man? Could it be? Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. Okay, Black Butterfly said, could have been a closet on the right side of the bed in the corner. I'm a little late and replay from the beginning. Yes, I'm going to pull it up. Let me pull it up. Hold on. And we're going to zoom in. I know how to zoom in. I had to figure it out. I got to go back to that room we were in. Give me 1 second. Y'all, if y'all see it before me, let me know. Okay, this is a closet back here. Let me zoom in. Can y'all see it? Or no? I'm trying to show y'all. It won't let me show you. I'm trying to show you this closet door. Can y'all see that back there? That's what the doors look like. All right. Now, it won't let me go. That must be my time to stop. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Hold on. I'm persistent. All right. Let's see if we can get it. All right. We got one. We got one. We got a tour. Y'all ready? Here we go. Can y'all see it? This is the place, I do believe. Is it the Hotel Rue? Oh, man. All right. Let's get straight to the rooms. I'm going to fast forward. Is this the same? Hold on. I need to make sure this is the right resort. Is this the right resort? It's called the Zuri. I'm sorry. Zuri. This is Hold on. Wait. Zuri Zanzibar. Okay. Here we go. Okay, he's just talking. I just want to see the room, so I'm going to go ahead and ease on down the road. Okay, here's the room. There go the closet. Right there. It's where we said is to sorry, here's the closet. You're gonna miss it. It's behind the bed against the wall. Let's go. Back there. You see it? Right here to the left. Sorry, right here. Hopefully he'll give it to you. Mm, mm. All right. Do you see the closets? They do have a phone. We've identified a phone. Okay. Now, okay, so I think I stand corrected. It looks like the robe is hanging up in the shower. Where's the closet door? This is the closet door. We found it. There is no way, sir. There is no freaking way. Thank you. Thank you. You said there's a strong Islamic presence in Zanzibar. However, there are other religions. That's what I thought. And I probably used the wrong word when I said Muslim, but Islamic. Thank you. So let's take a look at the closet one more time. Thank you to this nice man. This is the closet. I'll back it up one more time. I'll look at this closet. All right. You got it? Now you know. I don't think she was at the resort but 24 hours, maybe 40, maybe 36 hours before her life was taken. That's it. That's all. You said the villa looks outdated. Thank you. In my room in San Antonio, I think you mean San Antonio, we didn't have closets. Yeah, that's why the medical examiner put question mark, question mark, question mark because of the beads. Like, what? So listen, if something happened and there were foul play, let's just say, could it be because they were fighting by the closet and he had it in he etched it in his mind? Or could it be that's where she took her last breath, by the closet? So he automatically said closet door. And they're like, it ain't no closet door that can withhold a body weight. Close to the closet or the makeshift closet is the bathroom. So they could have been arguing. If he came into her room, she could have been in the bathroom. I don't know. But whatever he's saying is not adding up. But the closet was stuck in his mind for some reason. I just don't know why. I guess the dress would have had to come out of the closet because they said she was, according to him, a dress. She's not a big girl. You would have think that the when we're talking body weight, dead weight, not being unalive, but just you collapsing on a dress, I'm sure, I don't know if a dress can hold up somebody. You said, why is he walking away with somebody? Why is he walking away from these women at 31? Some of them, that's a good question. And the room is tight. But remember, the original medical report said strangulation and suffocation. And DG did a really good job of breaking down what that means. Strangulation is cutting off your airflow. Suffocation is making sure you don't, that's covering the nose and the mouth. The nose and the mouth. And it sounds like from the medical examiner, there was a mixture or a combination of the two. Yes, Sassy Lady Forever. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Twitter, from X. Sassy Lady says, remember the staff said that they had to be separated and given separate rooms. Yes, and it was dark. Why is that important? Because you're in the middle of Africa, and these are very dated villas. And as you start to get into those villas, there's not a lot of light. So how would security know where the disturbance was coming from? Number one, that tells us it was really bad. This was a bad fight. Number two, security stated that even after they separated them, they called the police. Security went ahead and called the local police because they were worried for her well-being and her safety. No suicide note. No. The hotel said they were worried for her well-being, her safety. Did Ashlee say, I think he can hurt me? Did she say, call? You just never know. Did she whisper like you would in the United States? If something happens to me, call the police. I think he's going to hurt me. And they did just that. Let me see if I still have that proof. Let me see if I still have that proof. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Right here. I think she may have whispered something. She may have been concerned for her own life. She called her mom. The hotel security called the police. So this is according to the police, and this is based on the accounts or just what the hotel is saying. There was a disagreement, and hotel management made the decision to separate them, placing them each in their own room. The police commander added that the hotel staff later contacted the police authorities after becoming concerned about Ashlee's well-being, indicating there may have been warning signs prior to the incident. Prior to the incident of fighting or the incident of death. Well, what were the warning signs? What happened? And how come you're not sharing that detail? Officials say Robinson was still alive when the police were alerted. She was transported to a hospital for emergency care, but sadly passed away the following day. All right, there you have it. He may have threatened her. You say she may have used, if it's true. Latrice said there's a photo in the pool, all white men and dark women. Well, do you remember the meeting that Jeffrey Epstein and his compadres had with those young black girls? And they wanted their babies or their fetuses, and they were telling them why. Did y'all catch that footage that was leaked? And talking about younger women produce healthier babies. And it was a room full of white men with 20-something-year-old black girls, young black women. We don't know. You said, how long did she suffer? We don't know. We just know that when she was transported to the hospital, she was still alive. She had a strong pulse. I'll play that one more time, and that comes from the medical examiner. Pay very close attention. Strong pulse. I'll pause it when we get to that part, and then we can wrap up. I think, hold on. Here we go. Should be right here. Let's see. Let me use a cleaner version. Hold on. And by cleaner, here we go. Oh, my bad. I just talking. Okay. So I paused it because her mom just said something that sparked me to think of this. Her mom said that she called, right, about the fight. They separated the two of them. He's not giving the parents any information. Also, we can assume he probably has her phone. And if he has her phone, he can go in there and completely factory reset and clear out anything that he doesn't want her family to know while he's on that flight all the way back to the United States. That means that it just didn't sound right. So I wanted to show y'all this. There was something else I wanted to, CVS. Pulse is strong and fast. Her body was cold, but she was alive. Strong pulse, fast pulse, I'm sorry. Strong, fast. She was alive. She was fighting for her life. I wanted to call that out again for those of you that are just joining the conversation. Whatever happened to her, you say, how long was she in there? A while. Because she started to lose circulation. Her heart was still beating. She started to lose circulation. How do you know? Because it said cold. She had started to get cold. Cold extremities. So he let her sit there a little bit. Because it says he found her. So I don't know. If I had to guess, I'm going to say, I'm going to say at least, hold on. Give me 1 second. Hold on. What do we call it? Ain't no telling. I don't want to guess. 30 minutes or so. I don't know. I'm not a medical expert, but her heart was still beating. Strong. Pulse was strong. Body started to become cold. Gosh. Okay. She couldn't have hung herself if they listed suffocation. It sounds like you tried to suffocate her. And when that didn't work, strangulation. The medical examiner listed for that. Live for me, 75 says Queen Sheba. When I worked for Apple, we found out nothing is ever deleted from the cloud and it can be retrieved within 30 days. There you go. Whoop, there it is. He contacted her mom 11 hours. He wanted to make sure she was dead. He didn't contact her while she was alive. Remember, it took her 11 hours to die, 12 hours to die. He was probably shaking in his fucking boots. He was probably shaking in his boots, shocked that she had a little bit of fight in her, shocked that he underestimated her, shaking in his boots. That's why he didn't call. Why would you not give a call? They're hoping for the best, the medical team. They transported her to a different hospital for an elevated level of care. How come you didn't make the call? You said, is it not time stamped? It is, but it sounds like the police commander is on his side. And that's why the other resort made it very clear we are standing on the side of the family. Don't confuse us with that resort. That didn't happen here. As you can see, Ashlee was very clear about her experience here. We treated her well, so well, she documented it. And I'm also wondering if they're trying to tell us something because they said she took no photos of that resort. She didn't have the same experience there. We took very good care of Ashlee. He waited. He waited. He could have called her mom. You know, if somebody's fighting for their life, the last thing to go is their hearing. He could have said, I want you to talk to her, let you know you're fighting. She's still fighting. Say something to her. Tell her, yeah, sir, I think you did something. I hope I'm wrong, but I believe it's starting to look like you could be implicated in this. Thank you. DT2194 said, I just left Tanzania. Money will buy silence. And that country is poor, but have beautiful areas. Boom. We can assume. We can assume it was elevated or they didn't have the proper personnel to be able to address her medical issues in the first one. But I'm just assuming that they would do what we would do here in the U.S. Words of encouragement, at least something. You made sure that girl was cut off from her family. She didn't hear not one voice but yours until the moment she took her last breath. And you underestimated it, if you did have anything to do with it. You said he never loved her. He liked how she looked. That could be correct. That's what it's giving, because you see how quickly he cut himself off from her, how quickly he's disassociated himself from her death, her family, anything. He lawyered up. That's crazy. The other resort gave a statement. The other resort gave a statement, but the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. Embassy won't give a statement. Zanzibar won't give a statement. And Joe won't give a statement. Okay. Now, to the family, if there's anything that you know that is not favorable, you got to say it, and you got to say it now. You can't wait a month or 2 months later. It's not going to make sense to say anything 2-3 months later. If you want this story to stay alive, you got to say something. But on the flip side of that, if you go to Zanzibar, don't tell anybody. Pop up without no warning, because you don't want Zanzibar to have time to get their stories together. Don't give them a heads up. You're on your way. Take a flight. Don't tell nobody but those who need to know. A need to know basis. Pop up first thing smoking. Let them find out when you walk in that resort. Demand to see the room. Look at everything they're saying. Take pictures. Get you some meta glasses. Whatever it is. And see if it lines up. Because they're not going to help you while you're seated at home in the U.S. And I agree. Discretion is key. You got to pop up and you got to be real quiet about it. You can't trust nobody if you go there. You don't know how much money that man has paid if he is guilty. Assume everybody is an op. That's it. That's all. And with that being said, y'all, let me get out of here. We've been here for 3 hours. Thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us. Ashlee, I'm doing my due diligence of keeping your name in the algorithm. If you can, share this, play it. Even if you're not listening to it, put it on mute. Keep her name flowing in the algorithm until we can get some closure. That's it. That's all.